the Sunny F16 rule. Aniket has sent everybody that, so please open that, because instead of writing the whole chart again, I will refer to that and explain. It makes it easier for me. Are you all ready? If you are ready, tell me.
Yes.
Okay. Now this chart is called the Sunny F16 rule and is applicable to color slide films or to digital. This is not applicable if you want to make prints, black and white prints or color prints. But if you want to make color prints, it's simple. I'll explain that point. Now, you on the left top, you see ISO 100, average tone subject. Yesterday I have explained to you what is average tone. Timings 2 hours after sunrise up to 2 hours before sunset. These are our parameters. Now, next parameter below is that bright sun. When you look up, the sun is bright. Pay attention. When you look up, the sun is bright. No clouds between you and the sun. And if you put your hand out, you will see strong shadows. That is the lighting, that is the weather condition. Okay, there are only 3 weather conditions. So this is the condition where the shadows will be harsh, strong shadows. Next one would be when you look up, it's a bright sun, but there are thin clouds between you and the sun. Because of the thin clouds, the light spreads out, amount of light coming in is less. Now the shadows, when you put your hand out, are not as strong as in case number 1. The third one is it is cloudy and bright. If you notice probably, and as photographers you should notice that when it is cloudy, it can sometimes be very bright and cloudy is also dull. So when it is cloudy bright, if you put your hand out, you see soft shadows. And sometimes when it is cloudy bright, there is no shadows or difficult to see shadows. So these are the 4 weather conditions that we will work on. There are only 4, there can't be more. Okay? So thing is for you to take a little time and study this shadow pattern. What is hard shadow, what is medium soft, what is very soft, and what is no shadow. It is a matter of 10-15 minutes in the field to find that out. It's not difficult, it is very simple. Now, what about lighting? There can be only 3 types of lighting. Listen, you look here. If I'm the subject, this is frontal lighting. From this side or this side is side lighting, and from behind is back lighting. It will not be exactly from here, it can be a little bit from the side also, but from the back. That's back lighting. Somebody will say, what about top lighting? Why didn't I not write? We don't take pictures when the lighting is on top. Because eye shadows will there, nose shadow, chin shadow. We don't take pictures. That is afternoon time, it is meant for traveling. Photographers should remember our photography time is early morning and late evening. Afternoon time is for travel. Afternoon time is not for taking pictures unless you are doing infrared photography. Then the afternoon time is the right time to take color, to take infrared pictures. So now, let's take frontal lighting. That means I am the scenery subject. You are taking picture from there. So condition 1 is bright sun. Look about bright sun. There are no clouds. That means if you put your hand out, the shadow is strong, hard shadow. Under that condition, see everywhere you will see whatever is the film speed, the shutter speed is 1 upon that. It's a reciprocal. Why it is made like this? Simple. I will tell you how to change it afterwards. So 1 upon 100 is your shutter speed. And when you are shooting for slides or digital, you are shooting for the highlights. I explained to you yesterday. So that's why you have to keep your aperture to f16. But what happens if you are going to make a print? One stop over. Start with f11. This 1 by 100 and f16 is your key exposure. It is called the datum exposure, DATUM. It's the datum exposure. You always start with that. Always start with that. Same thing as the key exposure. You can call it key exposure. So with frontal lighting, you don't have to meter through your camera. If the sun is bright and there is no shadow, I mean hard shadow, there is no cloud in between, that is 100 and f16. That's right, absolutely correct exposure. Sometimes your meter will not give you that exposure because your reflected light meter reading depends on the background brightness. Yesterday I explained all that. Your meter can be fooled. This system can't be fooled. So now, what happens if there is a thin cloud in between? As I told you, when there is a cloud, a fluffy cloud, amount of light coming down reduces because the light spreads out. What you do is you keep the same shutter speed all the time and open up the aperture one stop from the datum value. F16 was the datum value, you come to F11. Exposure shutter speed remains the same. If it becomes soft shadows, you put your hand like this and the shadows are soft. Again, first set your camera to datum exposure, 100 f16, open up two stops from that. You come to f8. And if there are no shadows or difficult to see shadows, you make it 5.6. So it's very simple to remember. There cannot be any mistake in this. And don't think that you have to mug this up. It is a matter of practice in the field for a little while, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, and it fits into your head. I have been doing this thing since 1975 and it just remembers because you do it once in a way, at least when you go out. Try not to look at your meter. Why are you getting slaves to your meter? What will happen if you don't have a meter in your camera or if it's conked out? You should be able to look at the subject and then say, okay, you may go wrong in the beginning. So what if you go wrong? Is the sky going to fall down? No. You must build up your confidence. Confidence does not come always from being right. Confidence does not come from always being right. Confidence comes from the knowledge that you can be wrong. So what if you're wrong? If you're wrong, you're wrong. What is that? But you have to try, no? This is very simple chart. Now this was for frontal lighting. But the side lighting, now look. When the light was from here, please look here. Hello? When the light is from here, my whole face is lit up. The light is from here, only half is lit up. Half is in darkness. So you open up one stop from the datum exposure to start with. Instead of 100 and f16, we'll start this time because it's a side lighting. 100, 1 upon 100 and f11. Again, everything remains the same. See, you start with 100 and f11. For shadows not strong, you open up one stop more to f8. Soft shadows, you open up another one stop more to 5.6. Sorry, it's by pen. It's written 5.8. Just correct that later. It should be 5.6, not 5.8. In the thing that I sent you, I asked my sister to do this because I don't know how
It's
to.
5.6 only.
It's 5.6.
5.6.
Yes.
It's
5.6,
only
yes.
5.6.
Okay. In my case, it's 5.6. She made another copy and gave me because I don't know how to use that. What you call what is that thing? What is
Computer.
it called? Microsoft car.
Excel.
I don't know how to use it, so I had to ask her to help me out. And again, if they're difficult to see shadows or no shadows, then again 1 by 100 and f4. 1 by 100 assures you that your hand will not shake. Now come to the last side, next backlight. Difference between front lighting and backlighting is always two stops. So you can see what you had started at 1 by 100 f16 has now become 1 by 100 f8. Two stops difference. So that is your datum exposure in this case. Then again move back. If it is shadows are not strong, you will come to 5.6. If the shadows are soft, you will come to f4. If there are no shadows or difficult to see, you will come to 2.8. Now comes the problem. Somebody says I don't have 2.8 on my lens. But you know in 100 of a second and 2.8 is how much will it be with f4? 1 by 100, 52.8 is how much if we have 4?
1 by 50.
50.
One stop.
So, same thing, no? That I don't have to write, you know it.
Compensation. Yeah.
So you can easily do that. Now, why 1 by 100, 1 by 100? So it's to make it simple. Now, instead, supposing, let's take any example. Let's say 1 by 100 and I say, you say no, I want to use 1 by 200. Use it, no, but then change the operator to 5.6.
5.6.
That change thing that you should be able to do it yourself as a photographer. So this will never go wrong in any part of the world. This is universal. And I bet you can try it out and your friends will be amazed. Don't read it in front of them. Memorize. And the magic trick is God, otherwise read it on paper and think. Many a times you will see, you think, okay, now to see the light over there, okay. But see, this is between 2 hours after sunrise to 2 hours before sunset. This is the timing you have to work in. So what happens if you are early or late? With practice, you will get some judgment. You may not be absolutely correct, but you will still get the acceptable picture. Remember, there is a lot of latitude in your film. You may not get perfect, but you will get okay. So don't be worried, don't be afraid of making a mistake. Most people are afraid of making mistakes, so they don't take the step. Any question is there on this? It's very, very simple.
Is there a night light?
How much of a correction factor is required for color negative? Black and white negative or negative films?
Same. As I said, instead of 100 f16, you go to f11 because you are exposing for the shadows. Whether it's black and white or colored, it will not.
So
matter.
one stop.
One stop. Datum exposure will start with 11 instead of 16. And then all the progressively will change.